My girlfriend said, "Your best friend makes me uncomfortable. I don't want him around." I replied, "I understand." Then quietly asked my friend, what really happened. He showed me screenshots that made everything worse, including how long he'd been hiding this from me. I, 29 am sitting here at 3 a.m. trying to process how I lost both my girlfriend and my best friend in the same day. This started yesterday morning over coffee. Katie, 27F, seemed off, fidgety, avoiding eye contact. Finally she dropped it on me that Jake makes her really uncomfortable and she doesn't want him coming around anymore. Jake, 30M, has been my best friend since college. We hang out maybe twice a week, watch games, grab beers, normal stuff. He's always been respectful around Katie, never overstepped. I said I understood and asked what happened. She seemed genuinely upset, tears, the whole performance. Told me Jake had been getting more aggressive lately, making comments about how I don't appreciate her, how she deserves better treatment. He said you work too much, that you take me for granted. Then he started suggesting we spend time together when you're not around, just to talk, he said. But Marcus, the way he looks at me. She shuddered. My blood was boiling. Jake undermining my relationship. It didn't fit, but Katie was crying, shaking. Why would she lie about something this serious? He's been building up to this for weeks. She continued. Yesterday he cornered me when I was getting groceries, said he's always had feelings for me, that if I ever wanted to explore what we could have together, he'd be there. I told her I'd handle it. She asked if I believed her, if I was going to choose him over her. Of course I believe you, I said, but something felt off. Jake had never shown interest in Katie, never made weird comments around me. Still, I trusted my girlfriend. Instead of confronting Jake immediately, I decided to feel him out first. Call it gut instinct. We met for lunch. I brought up Katie casually, mentioned she seemed stressed lately. Jake's face changed immediately. Marcus, I need to tell you something. I should have told you weeks ago. He pulled out his phone, handed it to me. Text messages between him and Katie. Dozens of them. The first few were from 3 weeks ago. Katie asking about my work schedule, when I'd be home late. Then they escalated fast. Katie texting about how lonely she gets, how she wishes she had someone to talk to who really understands her. How Jake seems so much more mature than guys her age. I keep thinking about our conversation at Marcus's birthday party. You really get me in a way he doesn't. Do you ever think about what would have happened if we'd met first? I can't stop thinking about you, Jake. This is wrong, but I can't help it. Jake's responses were brief, trying to deflect. You should talk to Marcus about feeling lonely. That's not appropriate, Katie. We shouldn't be having this conversation. But the messages kept coming. Katie pushing harder, getting more explicit. Marcus is working late again. Want to come keep me company? Just as friends, of course. I bought something special today. Wish I had someone to show it to. Jake, I need you. I can't pretend I don't have feelings anymore. The timestamps showed this had been going on for 3 weeks. 3 weeks of my girlfriend pursuing my best friend while I was completely oblivious. I looked up at Jake. Why the hell didn't you tell me this was happening? Jake looked miserable. I kept thinking she'd stop. I didn't want to blow up your relationship over what I hoped was just a phase. But when you said she's claiming I was hitting on her, he shook his head. That's when I knew I had to show you everything. 3 weeks, Jake. 3 weeks you watched her do this and said nothing. I was trying to protect you, man. I thought if I just kept shutting her down. Protect me. You let me live with someone who was actively trying to cheat on me for 3 weeks. You think that's protection? Jake had no answer for that. I scrolled through more messages. Katie's final text was from yesterday morning, before our coffee conversation. Fine. If you won't give us a chance, I'll make sure Marcus knows what kind of friend you really are. The manipulation was crystal clear. When Jake wouldn't bite, Katie decided to flip the script, make herself the victim and Jake the predator. But Jake's betrayal cut just as deep. 3 weeks of watching my girlfriend pursue him and saying nothing. I stood up from the table. I need some time to think. Marcus, wait. No, Jake. You should have told me the first time she crossed a line. Instead, You let me look like an idiot for 3 weeks. I drove home in a rage, not just at Katie, but at both of them. She tried to cheat. He enabled it by staying silent. Katie was cooking dinner when I walked in, playing the perfect girlfriend. How was lunch? Did you talk to Jake about what I told you? Actually, Jake showed me something interesting. I pulled out my phone, opened the screenshots I'd taken. Want to explain these? Katie went white, then red, then started the show. Those are fake. He's trying to manipulate you. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Katie, I can see the timestamps. These go back 3 weeks. Before you ever said anything about Jake bothering you, the tears started, the hyperventilating. You're choosing him over me, just like I knew you would. I'm not choosing anyone. You both lied to me. You tried to cheat. He covered for you. Katie couldn't argue with the evidence, started throwing things instead, called me every name in the book. Pack your stuff. You've got an hour. She tried begging, threatening, crying. Nothing worked. An hour later, she was gone. But I didn't feel victorious. I felt betrayed by both of them. Jake texted me later. Can we talk about this? My response. You had 3 weeks to talk about this. You chose not to. I blocked him too. Update 1. It's been a week since I discovered both my girlfriend and best friend had been lying to me. And the aftermath has been a mess of people taking sides without knowing the full story. The first few days brought exactly what you'd expect. Katie texting from different numbers, her family calling, mutual friends asking what happened. But Jake's family got involved too. His brother called me Wednesday, said Jake was devastated that he'd been trying to protect me. Marcus, Jake feels terrible. He knows he should have told you sooner, but he was hoping Katie would come to her senses. I explained that letting someone chase your best friend's girlfriend for 3 weeks isn't protection, it's enabling. Jake's brother went quiet, but he didn't cheat with her. He turned her down every time. He also turned down every opportunity to be honest with me. That matters. Thursday brought the real drama. Katie's sister Emma called, furious. Marcus, what you did to Katie was cruel. Jake manipulated the whole situation. I calmly explained that Katie had been pursuing Jake for weeks, that the messages proved it. Emma claimed Jake probably encouraged her somehow, later on. Emma, the messages show Jake repeatedly telling her to talk to me, that their conversations weren't appropriate, but they also show him hiding this from me for 3 weeks. So you're mad at both of them? Yeah, I am. Katie tried to cheat. Jake let her. Emma didn't know how to respond to that. The worst part came Friday. Some mutual friends invited me out, said they wanted to show support. Turns out it was an ambush. Jake was there. Our friend group had decided we needed to work this out like adults. Jake made a mistake, our friend Dave said. But he was trying to do right by you. I looked directly at Jake. 3 weeks. You watched my girlfriend hit on you for 3 weeks and said nothing. You think that was doing right by me? Jake finally spoke up. I was hoping she'd stop. I didn't want to hurt you over something that might blow over. You didn't want to hurt me. Jake, she was planning to cheat on me. The only reason it didn't happen is because you wouldn't cooperate. But you were fine letting me stay with someone who was actively trying to betray me. I was protecting your relationship. No, you were protecting yourself. You didn't want the drama of telling me the truth. The table went quiet. Even our friends could see the logic. And the second she realized you wouldn't cheat with her, she decided to destroy your reputation instead. Which you could have avoided if you'd just been honest from day one. Jake looked miserable. I know I messed up. But we've been friends for 8 years. Doesn't that count for something? 8 years of friendship and you couldn't trust me enough to tell me my girlfriend was hitting on you. What does that say about how you really see me? I left them all sitting there. Got a text from Katie's mom later that night. I don't understand why you're angry at Jake too. He's innocent in all this. I replied, Jake chose to hide the truth for 3 weeks. That's not innocent, that's enabling. Katie's the villain, but Jake's not the hero either. The responses have been mixed. Some people think I'm being too hard on Jake, that his intentions were good. Others get it, understand that loyalty means honesty, even when it's hard. Honestly, I don't know if I'll ever trust Jake again. Not because he almost cheated with Katie, but because when the chips were down, he chose comfortable lies over difficult truth. That's not the kind of friend I need in my life. Update 2. 2 weeks since everything imploded and the situation has gotten more complicated as more truth comes out. Jake's been trying to reach me through mutual friends, insisting we need to talk. Finally agreed to meet him last Saturday, figuring I'd hear him out once and be done with it. What he told me changed everything, but not in the way he hoped. Marcus, there's more to this story. Katie didn't just start hitting on me 3 weeks ago. This has been going on for months. My blood went cold. What do you mean months? Jake pulled out his phone again, scrolled back further. I deleted a lot of the early stuff because I thought it was harmless flirting. But look at this. Messages from 2 months ago. Katie asking Jake about his workout routine, his dating life, whether he ever gets lonely. Casual at first, then increasingly personal. She started coming to my gym around this time, said she wanted to try a new place, asked if I could show her around. And you didn't think that was weird? I thought she was just being friendly. You know how she is, touchy with everyone. More messages. Katie complimenting Jake's physique, asking about his type in women, wondering if he'd ever date someone in a relationship. This was 2 months ago, Jake. 2 months you've been dealing with this. It escalated so slowly. By the time I realized what was happening, I didn't know how to tell you without it looking like I'd been encouraging it. Jake showed me photos Katie had sent. Nothing explicit, but clearly flirtatious. Her at the gym in tight workout clothes. Her trying on dresses, asking for his opinion. She sent these to you while dating me. Yeah. And Marcus, there's something else. She's been asking questions about your finances, your work schedule, your plans for the future. Like she was evaluating whether you were worth staying with. The picture was getting clearer and uglier. Katie hadn't just tried to cheat. She'd been conducting a months-long evaluation of her options. So why show me this now? Because Katie's been telling people I let her on, that I encouraged her, and then rejected her when things got serious. She's painting herself as the victim of my mixed signals. Jake showed me more screenshots. Messages from mutual friends asking him about his side of the story, clearly having heard Katie's version. She's saying I pursued her. That I told her I had feelings, but couldn't act on them because of our friendship. That when she finally made a move, I panicked and showed you fake messages to cover myself. The manipulation was even deeper than I'd realized. Katie had been working multiple angles for months. Jake, this makes it worse, not better. You've been lying to me for months, not weeks. I know how it looks like you watched my girlfriend shop around for a replacement while keeping me in the dark about it, 4 months. Jake's face fell. I was trying to protect. Stop saying that, you were protecting yourself. You didn't want the awkwardness of telling me my girlfriend was hitting on you, so you let me stay with someone who was actively planning to leave me. She might not have gone through with it. Jake, she spent months testing the waters with you. When you wouldn't bite, she probably had other guys lined up. The only reason she accused you of harassment was to eliminate the evidence of her own behavior. We sat in silence for a few minutes. I lost my girlfriend and my best friend in one day, I said finally. But honestly, Jake, I think I lost them both months ago. I just didn't know it yet. Jake tried to apologize again, but I was done. The betrayal wasn't just about hiding Katie's advances. It was about watching me live a lie for months and deciding his comfort was more important than my truth. I haven't spoken to either of them since. Some mutual friends think I'm being too harsh on Jake, that his situation was complicated. But I can't get past the fact that when Katie was shopping around behind my back, Jake chose to be her silent accomplice rather than my honest friend. That's not the kind of loyalty I want in my life. Final update. 6 weeks since I discovered the extent of Katie and Jake's deception. Time to close this chapter permanently. The truth kept coming out in pieces over the past month. Apparently, Katie's shopping expedition wasn't limited to Jake. Our mutual friend Lisa called me 3 weeks ago with an uncomfortable confession. Katie had been hitting on her boyfriend Tom at parties, asking if he ever got tired of being with the same person, whether he thought relationships should be more open. Tom told me about it right when it happened, Lisa said. We thought it was just Katie being flirty, but after hearing about the Jake situation, more stories emerged. Katie apparently had a pattern of testing boundaries with guys in our friend group, always with plausible deniability. Nothing explicit enough to call cheating, but clearly fishing for interest. The gym angle was particularly calculated. Jake wasn't the only guy she'd started working out with. She'd also been training with Alex from our college group, asking him about his relationship status, wondering if he ever thought about being with older women. Alex, unlike Jake, had told his girlfriend immediately. They'd laughed about it, figured Katie was just being weird. But knowing what I know now, she was casting a wide net. Jake reached out one final time last week through our friend Dave. Wanted me to know that Katie had been spreading a new story that we'd broken up because I was controlling and jealous, couldn't handle her having male friends. She's telling people you forbade her from talking to other guys, Dave said, making you sound like some possessive psycho. I showed Dave the screenshots Jake had shared, explained the months-long timeline. Dave went quiet. Jesus, Marcus, I had no idea it was this orchestrated. Neither did I, but Jake did, and he chose to protect her secret instead of protecting me from living a lie. Dave understood, said he'd set the record straight with anyone who'd listen. The final piece came when I ran into Katie's coworker, Jenny, at a coffee shop. She looked uncomfortable when she saw me, but we ended up talking. Katie always talked about you like you were temporary, Jenny said quietly, like she was just waiting for something better to come along. She used to joke about having a backup plan. A backup plan. She said she was too smart to leave one relationship without having another one lined up. That only desperate women do that. Everything clicked. Katie hadn't been trying to cheat impulsively. She'd been systematically evaluating her options, keeping me as a safety net while she hunted for an upgrade. Jake had been her primary target, but not her only one. When he wouldn't cooperate, she moved down her list. When nobody bit, she decided to eliminate the evidence by framing Jake as a predator. The manipulation was sophisticated and cruel. As for Jake, I've made peace with cutting him out. Some people think I'm being too harsh, that his intentions were good, even if his execution was terrible. But intentions don't matter when someone watches you live a lie for months and chooses their own comfort over your right to know the truth. That's not friendship. That's cowardice. I'm doing well now. Started dating someone new, Sarah, a teacher who's refreshingly straightforward. No games, no manipulation, no testing other guys while she's with me. The revenge wasn't dramatic or elaborate. It was just letting the truth speak for itself. Katie lost her safety net and her reputation when people learned about her months-long shopping expedition. Jake lost a friendship he'd taken for granted by choosing comfortable lies over difficult honesty. They both gambled that I'd never find out the full extent of their deception. They lost that bet badly. Sometimes the best revenge is just refusing to accept other people's lies about your life, even when those lies are wrapped in good intentions. Katie and Jake taught me that loyalty isn't just about not betraying someone. It's about not letting them be betrayed by others either. Thanks for reading, Reddit. This community helped me process one of the most complex betrayals I've ever experienced. Time to move forward with people who understand that honesty isn't optional in real relationships.